All right, let's talk about this Bills Chiefs game for a second. As you look at this as a professional bettor, how do you contemplate when a player like Patrick Mahomes and his status is uncertain? How do you thread that needle between getting the best of the number and getting an edge on the market?
So Chad wants clicks for his Patrick Mahomes updater. I can update everyone right now. The word is in. He's playing. But like the guys knew Sunday night that he was going to play. It basically came out. He got tackled around his neck, and if you at all faint or fall down to the ground or stumble, you're automatically out of the game. That's like the pretty much the concussion rule. Even if you don't have a concussion, you're out of the game. Mahomes didn't have a concussion. Anyone that's played football, you've been tackled. Like even if you're playing in the backyard, I've been tackled around my neck. You get whiplash. You're knocked out for about like 2 seconds. Like your Adam's apple, wherever the guy grabbed him to the ground that way. So I took the Chiefs right away at a pick just to hedge these Buffalo bets I have. And now that the game is settled, I have to take the Bills. I know it's at +3. It's down to +2. This is a coin flip game. The Chiefs, they haven't looked right in a long time, but they have just been winning. So I'm gonna lean towards them where I like the Chiefs. If this number does go back down to a pick, even though Mahomes is back, I don't think it will. I think it's gonna stay at this number. Yeah, a value for me is on the Bills, but I just it's hard to tell people that this is going to be an easy one because the Bills haven't played great. They had a lot of things last week where they didn't look right, but it was just one of those where that was just weather. I just think in a passing offense and the elements like that, that was just too much for Josh Allen. He really didn't. He didn't do terrible. I think he had like 200 yards passing, which is the same as Brady. He managed the game, but it was just one of those where you kind of throw out. And when I'm looking at these two teams and offenses that can strike at any moment, how do you have a read on this game where you can just say, well, the Chiefs will have the possession last, so they're going to win it. It's whoever. It feels like whoever has the ball last is going to win this game, either by field goal or touchdown. And if I'm getting the points with the Bills and that's extra value on the money line, that's the side I'll go to. So for this week, this has to be our big balls bet of the week because we're literally taking a road team against the Chiefs at home and Patrick Mahomes. So definitely big balls bet of the week here is Bills.
Big balls bet of the week. We're taking the Buffalo Bills, ladies and gents, and we are taking them +3. They're currently +3.
At DraftKings,
What am I looking at right now?
you
Right
can
now, I'm
find
seeing
+3s
it.
out there.
What's that?
So you can definitely find +3s. I've just been using our friends that sponsored us in the tournament, DraftKings. They're down to +2.5.
You're right. They're down to 2.5, but I do see at other books. I see it at FanDuel. I see it at PointsBet. I am seeing +3. I'm using the Action Network app, and the beauty of the Action Network app is I can get the odds from every book.
Yeah, and like people were complaining. I gave out, you gave out the Bucks +2.5. I just gave out their money line, and people were saying, why don't you guys just give out +3? There's +3s out there. I'm just giving out DraftKings number, and if that's the worst number out there, I'm gonna give it out anyway, just because that's who semi sponsors our show. So that was the reason why people are complaining. They're saying, why don't you guys just give out +3? +3 is such a key number. I just gave out the money line because at that point, +2.5, it rarely will a playoff game land on two. Like this isn't one of those kind of situations. So I just gave out the money line. But yeah, shop around this week because, like you just said, there's gonna be books that still have 3.5 for the Buccaneers. You don't have to take just the 3 with Green Bay here. So that's what's another great thing about the Action app. Exactly what you just said. Shopping around. There's plenty of different odds at different books, and depending on the state you live in, you have 20 different books to pick from. So
All right, so it sounds to me like if I can summarize here, you liked the Chiefs at pick. You feel like in a heads up scenario, they're probably the right side to as the team to win, but it's close enough in your power ratings that the Bills at +3 as a dog is where you see the value.
yeah, and that's what was so hard about it is like when I first saw this line come up, I go, well, they must know Mahomes will be back because without Mahomes, this line's easily -6 for the Bills. I don't know if anyone watched it, but I did because I had so much money on the Chargers in the final week of the year. Chad Henne was a starting quarterback for the Chiefs, and This guy cannot read defenses. Everyone saw that interception he had in the Browns end zone. Who was that to? He literally was throwing it right to the safety. So yeah, if it was Chad Henne, oh my god, yeah. I would not be hedging this Bills futures, but I just got word Sunday night that I was going to be Mahomes, and the more I read on Monday, it just sounds like he's locked in. Like the only worry you're going to have Mahomes this week is supposedly he's got a messed up foot,
Hmm.
and if that's real, that's a big deal because the reason he's such a freak is his mobility in the pocket, and he can scramble at any time to pick up those 10 yards when the defense drops back. So if we got an injured Mahomes and it does come out that they're limiting him because of his foot, yeah, that's a real big deal, especially for this Chiefs offense. So for all these things, I'm telling people this is why I like the Bills. But again, trust your gut. Like me and Chad just said, it's a big balls better than week. We're going against Mahomes at home in the AFC Championship game. Like this isn't an easy pick here, but it's one of those where it just feels like it's the smart side because we're getting the good value on the number. And with the total here, it's been interesting hearing from different people about this total because I'm like most people. I look at these two offenses and I just think points. Like these guys are going to be throwing it, they're going to be scoring. But when you take a step back and you look at the way they played and how they played early in the year, when the Chiefs played. I know it was a bad weather game. They just ran it down the Bills' throat. Uh, they ball controlled. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a career day. I think he rushed for like 130, and he really dominated the Bills' defense. And you fast forward to now, the Bills' defense. I told you last week, I thought their linebackers had looked better, and they played better against the Ravens. And I think they've been improving to the point now where I trust them here, and I think that they can really take that aspect away from the Chiefs. The Chiefs won't be able to ball control it. So another game where I'll tell people to wait on the weather, but right now I'm leaning towards the under. But it's going to be interesting seeing what the money comes. I think whatever it opened at, it bumped up, right? I think it went up 2 points. It opened maybe at 51, 52, and now it's up to 53, 54. So
I saw it open at 55 and get bet down to 54.
okay. So that makes more sense. So it was like whenever it opened, I just took the under, just thinking to myself, just like we did with the Chiefs and the Browns. It's just a lot of points in a playoff game where field goals are more likely to happen. Guys just get tight in the red zone, and this will be the same thing where if, like we just talked about, I just don't know what the deal is with Mahomes' foot, and this is a high total. If he was fully healthy, of course, this would be a fun over because both these teams can score. But if I'm back in the Bills and I think Mahomes isn't right, the Bills in the under is the play here. So if you want to make that our foxhole bet, the under here, there's definitely not going to be many of us in this whole fighting.
I feel like it's going to be a wise guy play, so I'm down with it. Like if we got to choose one, then I think we go with this as the foxhole because most people will want to bet on the over if it's a Chiefs game, basically.
Right. And I gave out like 3 teasers on Twitter, and it was just a magical weekend, especially if you go against Wong, who Wong says never tease through zero. I always tease through zero because I don't care. If I get 3.5 or 4.5 with a team that's favorite, I just feel better about it. I know I'm giving up a point of value, but I just love those key numbers where I just thought that Ravens game, if they did beat the Bills, they were going to beat them by 3. It was just going to be like a close game where Justin Tucker hits a field goal, and that's how they win. And I gave them my 3 best, but I honestly think I was like 35-0 or whatever it was because like I took the under in that Rams Green Bay game. The teaser hit it by 1, so like that under cashed. I took the over in a teaser in that Saints and Bucks game. The over under just straight up missed by 2 points, but if you took the
Yeah.
teaser, the over hit and the under hit. So that's one of these things where I try to tell people the teasers are fun in the playoffs just because the books are so sharp at this point, especially with the totals. Um, this week for teasers, it's going to be a little different. Where if this does get down to 2.5, like it is right now, it's hard not to take the Chiefs at home plus 3.5. And with the Buccaneers or Green Bay, if that again it gets down to 2.5, if I'm getting Green Bay at 3.5 at home, that's another one I'd have to tease just because those are such key numbers, and you're getting home dogs now in the playoffs. So it's definitely one of those weeks where I'm going to hold off on it because I keep hammering home the weather thing. it's just such a big deal here in late January, especially in cities like this. You have to be on top of the weather because just like we saw in that Bills and Ravens game, that over under was 49. They got to 20 points. These are things you have to be on top on. Like that. That was a rare game where it was like the minute that game started and Tucker missed that field goal, you were like, okay, this is an under. Like that wind, you
Yeah.
saw the flags just whipping. That's what you're looking for. Those are like the dreams as a pro better. It's like a no sweat 29-point cushion on an under. That's doesn't get much better than that. So for all these games we're giving out, I just want people to hold off on the lines because most of the value is already gone. Yeah, if you like the Bucks 3.5, that 3.5's out there. Take the 3.5. But for me, I would just keep holding off because you missed most of the value early on here.